The King of the South has just been violently dethroned backstage, and the jaw-dropping footage leaking out of the 2026 BET Awards has pushed the entire music industry into an absolute state of emergency. What you're looking at is not a movie scene. This is the exact, unedited moment where multi-platinum rap icon T.I.'s entire elite entourage was brutally, physically slammed into the concrete by an army of ultra-aggressive venue security guards in a chaotic back corridor ambush that has altered the trajectory of his career forever. If you thought the hip-hop world was volatile before, what happened in this dimly lit backstage hallway has triggered a terrifying domino effect of anger, betrayal, and corporate execution. T.I. didn't just lose control, he and his entire family have been completely exiled from the very culture they helped construct. We have obtained exclusive, highly classified insider details about the sinister trap that was set for Grand Hustle the moment they walked through those doors. Rumors are swirling that a major rival platform orchestrated this entire physical elimination to completely sabotage T.I.'s final retirement era. Do not look away, because the devastating secret revelation proves this wasn't an accident. It was a coordinated hit. To truly understand the gravity of why this graphic backstage explosion took place, we have to look closely at the incredibly dangerous, high-stakes environment surrounding T.I. and the Harris household throughout the first half of 2026. T.I. has been fiercely navigating one of the most stressful, chaotic periods of his public life. He recently announced his highly anticipated final retirement album, Kill the King, a project that was mathematically designed to be his ultimate monument, a celebration of over 20 years of dominating the trap music genre. This album rollout was supposed to establish him as the ultimate, logical elder statesman of the culture. But instead of the music taking center stage, a dark cloud of nonstop controversy has been circling his family, creating a pressure cooker that was bound to detonate the moment they stepped into a corporate venue. The energy within T.I.'s inner circle had reached a boiling point due to the actions of his 21-year-old son, King Harris. King had been consistently making national headlines for all the wrong reasons, crashing out in public spaces, getting into highly publicized screaming matches at sporting events, and adopting an unyielding, aggressive stand-on-business mentality that rejected any form of corporate restraint. This dangerous street frequency peaked during a malicious, scorched-earth social media war between the Harris family and rap mogul 50 Cent. 50 Cent had ruthlessly targeted T.I.'s family on Instagram, crossing sacred lines by posting highly unflattering images of T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris. The retaliation from the Harris camp was immediate and severe. King Harris launched a series of venomous, nuclear diss tracks, going so far as to print a deeply provocative t-shirt featuring 50 Cent's late mother, a move that shocked the entire industry and forced T.I. himself to step in and try to drag his son back from the ledge. T.I. publicly admitted that while he was immensely proud of his sons for stepping up as men to defend their mother's honor against external disrespect, the terrifying level of raw emotion was threatening to completely undo decades of strategic discipline he had spent a lifetime teaching them. By validating this hyper-defensive behavior, T.I. inadvertently sent a green light to his entire multi-man security team and entourage. They began moving not as a standard celebrity team, but as a heavily armed, deeply paranoid military unit prepared to execute physical violence at the slightest hint of perceived disrespect. On the other side of this equation was the corporate machine of the BET Awards venue management. In 2026, major entertainment networks quietly implemented an ironclad, zero-tolerance policy regarding large entourages and chaotic backstage behavior due to a massive surge in high-profile industry altercations. The venue had hired an elite, private security firm consisting of former specialized military personnel and defensive tactics experts, individuals who do not care about rap catalog sales, hometown legendary status, or cultural influence. They were paid an astronomical amount of money to maintain absolute, dictatorial control over the backstage areas. When you mix an entourage that is fiercely looking for a reason to prove they won't be pushed around with a security force that views every celebrity inner circle as an active physical threat, a catastrophic collision is a mathematical certainty. The stage was set, the tension was pulsing through the air, and as T.I.'s crew walked down that fatal corridor, they had no idea they were stepping directly into a trap that had already been sprung. The catastrophic disaster manifested in a narrow, concrete-walled corridor directly behind the main VIP green rooms at the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles, exactly at 8:45 p.m. on the night of the 2026 BET Awards. According to highly classified, exclusive leaked reports from an anonymous insider source embedded within the production crew, T.I. and his massive grand hustle entourage were moving swiftly through the high-security zone toward the backstage staging area. T.I. was scheduled to make an unannounced, surprise stage appearance to perform a medley and officially drop the lead single from his retirement album, Kill the King. This moment was structurally designed to completely break the internet and supercharge his final rollout. But instead of a triumphant walk to the stage, the Grand Hustle Camp walked directly into an absolute war zone. A wall of 6 massive, tactical venue security guards abruptly blocked the narrow corridor bottleneck. They flatly informed T.I. that due to severe overcrowding in the backstage wings, only he and 2 specific management personnel would be allowed past the checkpoint. The rest of his multi-man entourage was ordered to immediately turn back and exit to the outer holding area. The response from T.I.'s inner circle was instantaneous, explosive resistance. Witnesses claim that one of T.I.'s closest security details stepped forward, chest to chest with the lead tactical guard, shouting that the King of the South does not move anywhere without his full security matrix. The verbal exchange escalated from 0 to 100 in less than 3 seconds. Insults were traded, hands were aggressively raised, and then the unthinkable happened. The lead venue security guard deployed a specialized tactical redirection maneuver, grabbing T.I.'s lead associate and violently slamming his body sideways into the heavy concrete wall before driving him face first onto the hard floor with immense, bone-crushing force. The hallway instantly exploded into absolute warfare. The raw, shaky leaked cell phone footage captures a scene of terrifying, chaotic violence. 2 other members of T.I.'s entourage lunged forward to defend their fallen brother, but they were instantly intercepted by the remaining tactical guards. The venue security operated with terrifying, mechanical precision. There were no wild street swings, just brutal, highly trained takedowns. Another Grand Hustle associate was lifted completely off his feet and violently slammed directly onto the hard floor, his head narrowly missing a massive metal equipment case. Screams of panic echoed through the corridor as production assistants and passing celebrities fled the scene in sheer terror. T.I. can be seen in the center of the frame, completely blinded by rage, fighting desperately against 3 handlers who were trying to hold him back from joining the physical fray. He was screaming at the top of his lungs, his voice hoarse with fury, demanding that the guards get their hands off his men. But the physical domination by the tactical security force was absolute. Within a matter of 60 agonizing seconds, T.I.'s entire elite entourage was thoroughly neutralized, pinned flat against the floor, and placed in plastic flex cuffs, completely helpless. Think about the raw humiliation of that moment. One of the most respected fathers and legends of modern trap music, forced to watch his entire line of men get completely dismantled right before his eyes in a corporate hallway. The situation got so dirty that senior network executives present during the altercation allegedly started sending panicked messages to the upper board. A leaked text message from a high-level network executive who watched the entire incident unfold from a nearby monitoring room reads, "It's a wrap for Tip tonight. Security literally destroyed his crew in the hallway. They handled them like total amateurs. Tip was screaming, trying to fight through, but they put him in a lock and started dragging him toward the back exit. It got incredibly messy. There is blood on the concrete. They're throwing them out of the building right now. T.I. and his entire entourage were flatly kicked out of the building, escorted straight through a loading dock door into the pouring rain. No VIP treatment, no respect for his veteran status, and no performance. Just a swift, humiliating removal from culture's biggest night while the internet was already starting to clip the footage. But this is where we hit the first massive, jaw-dropping twist that has left the entire music industry completely paralyzed with shock. As T.I. was being aggressively escorted toward the back exit, a senior executive producer from the network allegedly intercepted the security team. But he didn't step in to save T.I. He didn't step in to apologize for the extreme violence used by the security guards. Instead, the executive looked T.I. directly in the eyes and coldly informed him that this was not an accident. The insider source reveals that an explicit, written corporate directive had been quietly issued earlier that afternoon, specifically ordering the security team to search for any technical protocol violation by the Grand Hustle camp to deliberately initiate a heavy-handed, violent removal. Yes, you heard that correctly. T.I. and his crew were intentionally targeted. This entire confrontation was a calculated corporate setup designed to provide the network with the perfect legal justification to execute an immediate, lifetime ban against the rap legend and completely scrub his presence from the broadcast. The question that is currently burning through the internet is, who inside the industry possessed the immense power and malicious intent to order a corporate hit of this magnitude against the King of the South? And what did they stand to gain by completely destroying his retirement era before he could even take the stage? The immediate aftermath of the backstage brawl triggered an unprecedented, catastrophic escalation across all social media and news platforms. By midnight, the raw hallway footage had been clipped, mirrored, and uploaded to thousands of accounts on TikTok, X, and YouTube, generating an astronomical 50 million views in less than 3 hours. The visual of one of Atlanta's most respected cultural icons being handled like a low-level trespasser and pushed out into the rain completely shattered the hip-hop community. The internet went into hyperdrive, with citizen journalists and industry analysts meticulously dissecting the footage frame by frame, tracking every slam, every scream, and every look of desperation. Within an hour of the video going viral, a highly prominent, anonymous industry insider account dropped a series of explosive leaks that exposed a much deeper, terrifying layer to this corporate execution. Leaked internal network emails revealed that the lifetime ban wasn't just limited to the BET Awards venue. It was an all-encompassing, corporate blacklisting across multiple major entertainment conglomerates. The text of the leaked executive order was chilling, revoking all promotional clearances, scheduled broadcast interviews, and live performance bookings for Sean, T.I., Carter, and all Grand Hustle-affiliated entities. This corporate blacklisting effectively slaughtered the entire marketing strategy for T.I.'s retirement album, Kill the King. Major streaming platforms began quietly removing the pre-save banners for the project, and corporate sponsors who had invested millions of dollars into the album's promotional tour immediately began executing their exit clauses, starving the project of its commercial oxygen in a matter of hours. But the drama escalated to an even more dangerous level when T.I.'s adversarial camp caught wind of the public humiliation. 50 Cent, who has been waiting for the ultimate opportunity to permanently crush the Grand Hustle brand after their recent intense warfare, immediately seized the moment. He flooded his Instagram timeline with a barrage of highly sophisticated, frustratingly sarcastic memes utilizing high-definition screenshots of T.I.'s entourage pinned to the floor by security. 50 Cent captioned one of the most viral posts by writing, "Damn, tip. I thought you guys were standing on business? Your whole line of men got folded like lawn chairs by a few guards. Kill the king? Looks like the security killed the whole rollout. Someone call King Harris to make a diss track about the security guards. This is pure embarrassment." The public reaction from 50 Cent instantly weaponized the situation, turning a corporate security issue into a humiliating street narrative that was impossible to ignore. Industry giants began taking sides behind closed doors. Highly placed sources claim that prominent Atlanta rappers who have been close collaborators with T.I. for decades have suddenly gone completely silent, refusing to return phone calls from the Grand Hustle office out of pure fear of getting caught in the corporate crossfire of this multi-platform blacklist. The entire city of Atlanta seemed to hold its breath as the legacy of the King of the South was being dismantled in real time on the digital timeline. This brings us directly to the second, massive, and deeply sinister reveal of this entire saga. At 2:30 a.m., a highly confidential audio recording allegedly leaked from a secure conference call between T.I.'s legal team and senior network executives. In this frantic, highly emotional audio, T.I.'s lead attorney can be heard furiously shouting that they have hard evidence proving that the corporate directive to remove T.I. was directly influenced by an external, heavy-hitting industry powerhouse who is currently funding a massive, hidden campaign against the Harris family. The lawyer threatened a massive multi-million-dollar lawsuit for corporate sabotage and breach of contract, screaming that the network intentionally set a trap to destroy a Black legend's retirement era. But the voice on the other end of the line, belonging to a senior network attorney, delivered a chilling response that has sent shockwaves through the entire landscape. This isn't about security protocols anymore, and you know it. Your client's camp brought a dangerous level of external street drama into our building, and the board decided to permanently sever ties before the larger federal situation drops. We didn't create the trap. Your client's own inner circle gave us the ammunition to pull the trigger. The recording cuts off abruptly right after that sentence, leaving a massive, terrifying cliffhanger hanging over the entire hip-hop community. What larger federal situation was the corporate attorney referring to? Is there an active, hidden investigation operating behind the scenes that is about to drop on T.I.'s camp? And did the network execute this violent backstage ambush to completely distance themselves from a catastrophic imminent collapse? The explosive revelation of a potential hidden investigation behind T.I.'s backstage ban has caused the entire internet to erupt into a state of absolute, unyielding warfare. The comment sections across every major urban entertainment platform have turned into a massive, digital battleground where millions of fans and haters are aggressively clashing over the morality of the situation. The division within the culture is clean, deep, and incredibly hostile, creating an unprecedented level of engagement that has completely taken over the cultural narrative. On one side of the spectrum, you have the street loyalty purists. This faction consists of hardcore hip-hop fans who are fiercely defending T.I. and his entourage. They argue that the venue security used an entirely unacceptable, unnecessary level of violent physical force against a legendary artist who has dedicated over 25 years of his life to building the culture. They claim that an entourage's primary responsibility is to protect their artist at all costs, and refusing to abandon T.I. at a security checkpoint is the ultimate sign of brotherhood. They point out that this public humiliation happened just 2 days after T.I. dropped his final retirement album, Kill the King, completely hijacking what should have been a historic celebratory victory lap for the Grand Hustle legacy. They are actively calling for a massive, nationwide consumer boycott of the network, flooding social media with viral hashtags demanding accountability for how a cultural icon was treated in his own backyard. On the completely opposite side of the spectrum is a massive wave of corporate order realists who are flatly blasting T.I. and his camp for pure, unadulterated recklessness. They argue that T.I. is a grown man, a multi-millionaire business mogul, and a father who should have evolved far past bringing an aggressive street mentality into a highly professional corporate environment. They emphasize that host Drewski was keeping the main stage light and celebratory, while backstage, T.I.'s crew was actively turning a high-profile industry event into a dangerous liability. Critics point out that corporate security protocols are strictly designed to protect thousands of attendees, and the moment his entourage initiated physical resistance against trained enforcement professionals, they fully deserve to be violently slammed and neutralized on camera. The mainstream music media outlets have only fueled the raging fire. Prominent cultural commentators and podcast hosts have dedicated entire emergency episodes to breaking down the catastrophic financial and reputational fallout for T.I.'s final era. The industry backlash is getting cold and calculated. Behind closed doors, major distribution partners and streaming platforms are reportedly monitoring the situation with extreme anxiety, weighing whether to completely pull down promotional support for Kill the King to avoid being tied to the mysterious federal situation mentioned in the leaked audio. As the hours press on, the total silence from T.I.'s primary camp and Empire distribution remains absolutely deafening, which is only causing the wildest conspiracy theories to grow at an exponential rate. Every single dynamic of this story is pulling the audience deeper into the suspense, with millions of eyes locked onto the digital timeline, desperately waiting for the King of the South to finally break his silence and address this devastating public zealot. Just when the music industry thought this horrific situation had reached its absolute peak, a final, mind-blowing twist has just surfaced that completely turns this entire narrative upside down. At exactly 5 a.m., a highly classified internal security incident log from the venue's command center was leaked directly to an investigative journalist. The document reveals a piece of information so profoundly shocking that it completely recontextualizes every single second of the violent backstage footage we all watched on repeat. The log notes that the physical altercation did not start because of a simple disagreement over entourage-sized protocols or VIP badges. According to the official internal incident report, the lead tactical security guard who initiated the brutal, bone-crushing takedown on T.I.'s associate was operating under direct instructions from a completely different entity. The document implies that the entire hallway brawl was carefully orchestrated from the very beginning, but not just by network executives. The insider reports indicate that a close, highly trusted member of T.I.'s own extended inner circle, someone who possessed full operational knowledge of their arrival time, their security details, and their emotional triggers, had been secretly compromised weeks prior to the event. This deep undercover informant within the Grand Hustle camp had allegedly been paid an astronomical sum through a blind trust linked directly to a major rival management company. Their sole mission? To deliberately engineer a high-stress bottleneck scenario backstage where T.I.'s hypervigilant team would be mathematically guaranteed to react with physical aggression. The terrifying reality is now blindingly clear. T.I. was walked directly into a corporate slaughterhouse by one of his own people. The violent security guard who slammed his associate wasn't just performing standard venue duties. He was executing a highly specific, pre-planned trap designed to capture devastating, career-ending footage. This footage was the golden ticket required by corporate networks to instantly freeze T.I.'s intellectual property, halt the distribution of Kill the King, and permanently destroy his financial foundation under moral turpitude clauses. This isn't just an award show altercation anymore. This is a multi-million-dollar industrial conspiracy that has completely trapped the King of the South in a legal and financial stranglehold. But it gets even deeper. The leaked log drops an absolute nuclear bomb of a clue regarding the identity of this hidden traitor. The document references a series of encrypted communications sent from within the VIP dressing room just 10 minutes before the fight broke out, signed off by an individual using a specific operational code name that matches a prominent figure frequently seen standing directly next to T.I. on his most recent promotional runs. The implication is staggering. The calls are coming from inside the house. T.I. is currently sitting in an absolute state of panic, surrounded by a team he can no longer trust, trying to figure out which of his lifelong brothers completely sold his legacy down the river for a corporate paycheck. The burning question we are left with is terrifyingly urgent, and it makes it clear that the drama is far from over. This is only the tip of a massive, dark iceberg. We are actively tracking a major, imminent update from an Atlanta legal firm that is rumored to be preparing the official unredacted court filing. This filing will blow the lid off the entire operation and expose the exact identity of the Grand Hustle traitor to the public. The next 24 hours are going to completely reshape the hip-hop landscape forever, and nobody is safe from the fallout. The countdown has officially begun, and when this next revelation drops, it will completely shatter everything you think you know about street loyalty and corporate greed. This is without a doubt the most scandalous corporate betrayal of 2026, and the hip-hop landscape is shifting second by second. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know. Was T.I.'s entourage entirely justified in standing their ground, or did they fall headfirst into an obvious corporate trap? Who do you think is the secret traitor inside Grand Hustle? Smash that like button and hit subscribe with notifications turned on right now. We are tracking a massive legal update dropping within hours, and you cannot afford to miss the next explosive reveal.
Stay locked in.